Youth vote showed up and showed up strong in these 2022 midterm elections.
Young people are turning out all over this country.
We'll be the first member of Gen Z to serve in Congress.
Thousands of protesters demanding new laws to limit the state's easy access to guns.
The fact that these youth voters are coming in so strong on an off year is very concerning.
Young Americans made the difference in the 2020 election and the 2022 midterms. Our opinions matter. For over 20 years, we at the Harvard Public Opinion Project have been tracking the views of young Americans on issues ranging from voting to social media to mental health. Our spring 2023 results just came in. This semester, we focused specifically on guns and public safety, the economy, democracy, and how young Americans come to form their views. Here's everything you need to know in under 3 minutes.
After a strong start in 2020, President Biden has struggled to connect with young Americans. His approval rating has fallen with every single poll we've conducted since the beginning of his term, now standing at 36%.
Despite historic investments in climate as well as infrastructure, young people still mostly disapprove of Biden's performance on the economy as well as inflation. Yet, at the ballot box, young people still overwhelmingly vote Democrat.
Democrats in Congress narrowly beat out the president in terms of approval ratings. On the other side of the aisle, nearly 3 in 10 young Americans approve of Republicans in Congress. Young Americans who follow national news and those who are registered voters are more likely to support both Democrats in Congress and President Biden.
It's not just Congress and the president that many young people disapprove of, though. Trust in many major institutions has fallen over the last few years. In the wake of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, trust in the Supreme Court has fallen by 10 percentage points since the spring of 2018. Young Black Americans distrust their local police and at 34 percentage points.
Young people are worried about public safety. Overall, nearly half of young Americans say that they have felt unsafe in the past month. Around half of female college students are concerned about themselves or someone close to them being a victim of sexual assault. And only 23% of young Black Americans say that police officers in their community make them feel more safe.
When it comes to addressing this issue, a solid majority of young Americans do not support defunding the police. Even among young Democrats, only 38% support defunding, though a majority support reallocating funds from local police departments to other government programs or social services aimed at alleviating crime.
Furthermore, 1 in 3 young Americans have worried about a mass shooting in public for at least several days during the past 2 weeks. In response to the recent surge in gun violence, young people want stricter gun laws. Supporters for an assault weapons ban outnumber opponents 2 to 1. And 3/4 want to require psychological exams for all gun purchases.
Do you know that 2/3 of young Americans believe that housing is a human right?
Yes, and 1/3 of young Americans also worry about becoming homeless one day.
So how exactly are young people forming these political beliefs?
Well, around 2/3 of young Americans use social media to follow the news. Young Americans who get their news from both social media and TV are more likely to vote than those who just get their news from social media. And around half of young Americans say they follow the news about national politics at least somewhat closely.
Young people also turn to their friends to talk about politics in the news. A majority of young Americans report that most of their friends share their own political ideology. 86% of liberal youth said that most of their friends are also liberal, while 61% of conservative youth said that most of their friends are conservative.
And those are just some of the highlights from our spring 2023 poll. For more, visit iop.harvard.edu or follow @HarvardIOP on social media.